Cassian has a new boss, and Thrawn potentially commits treason. Jedi Council on Collider live.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna stare. I'm gonna stare into the wild blue yonder. Hello, everybody. It is I, Kylo Ken, broadcasting live from the Collider Studios inside a rainstorm in Burbank. And, actually, for once, a decent rainstorm in Southern California. Sometimes sprinkles are considered rainstorms. Joining me, returning, co-star of Rule of Two here on Collider, Mark Yodi Reilly.
Happy to be here. Yeah, quite the rainstorm. People losing their minds as per every time it rains.
Yeah, well, my coffee cup's filled with water, so it's pretty serious out here.
So are my shoes.
And returning as well, Kim Horcher. Welcome
Kim.
back in your Padme-inspired garb.
No.
No? Oh, excuse me.
Ray.
Padme. Did I say
Ray.
Padme? I meant Ray.
It's Ray.
Why did I say Padme? I don't know. Because I'm staring at Ray behind there, too. Padme's on the mind.
Hey,
Padme's on the mind, Adam Smith.
We don't talk enough about Padme. So
We don't
there
talk
it
enough
is.
about Padme. Very underrated character, especially fans. But Kim, we were talking before the show. We haven't actually determined what name we're calling you here, right?
It's Anakin Skywalker, Kim Urso.
I like
Oh.
Kim Urso for you.
Kim Urso.
I think
great.
that's more your spirit.
I think it is too.
Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of where I'm hanging out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
These days.
I think that's the answer. Cody gives a thumbs up. Kim Urso.
Kim Urso's
Horcher.
great.
Here.
Anna Kim is pretty damn good.
but
but Kim Urso, because of this.
I don't
Thank
see
you.
her yelling wizard and being whiny in the sand. I see
Yeah.
Kim as leading resistances, fighting bigger causes.
I was going to say, you don't mind sand, do you?
Daddy issues. Let's do it.
Do it. Also with me today, it's my friend Wicket. Hi, Wicket. This is a nice little gift to me here. I met Kuya and his sister from Emerald Moon Tree on Endor at LA Comic Con. Big fans of Jedi Council. They sent me a nice note. So Wicket is going to hang out with us here, and he might be around the Jedi Council set, hanging out on other shows as well.
That is so cool.
It is a life-sized scale Ewok that scares me every night at midnight when I turn the corner of my apartment.
Oh my
As you
God.
should be.
Yeah. So, Yub Nub, we're here today with our good friend, Wicket. So, thank you, Kuya, and his team down there, San Diego. All right, Mark Reilly, I'm glad you're here because we're going to start diving into movie news, Cody.
Hey. Love that graphic.
All right, as I sip my peppermint mocha, Mark Reilly.
Yeah.
Big story this week from our good friend Frosty.
Right.
He works at Collider. Hell, he
Yeah, he
started
does.
Collider.
He started
All right.
it.
And we're Collider Jedi Council. So we'll say up top, we don't have any inside information on this at all, even from Frosty.
Right.
He's like a ring wraith, just shows up and drops information and leaves and tries to kill hobbits. But he tweeted out that, hey, December's a big month for movies and releases and teasings and all that kind of stuff. And Frozen 2, possible maybe, I don't know, but also a little thing called Star Wars Episode 9, which I wasn't predicting. I'm going to start with you because, well, you work next. Frosty has a desk near you. So do you know anything?
I don't. I was as surprised as you were when I saw this tweet come out because I was, I was targeting Episode 9 first look for Celebration.
Right.
Like the trailer or a teaser or whatever you're going to call it and they're going to put out there. But it makes sense. Everybody's losing their mind over when the Avengers 4 trailer is going to come out.
They are.
Let's start losing our mind about when the Star Wars Episode 9 trailer is coming out.
Yeah.
I hope they do. I would love to see something. I think it makes sense in the holidays, December. Get everybody ready for 2019. Frozen 2, sure. I'll see that as well. But Episode 9, I do think back to the teaser for Force Awakens that came around Thanksgiving, Black Friday. I think it dropped in the morning.
Did.
Our very first look. When was The Last Jedi first look, though?
It was a lot later, and I think it was Celebration. And I don't know someone can put the stats down on a board,
I'm
but
pretty sure that's what it was. I think it was everybody. A big faction of Collider was over there. I was staying here, holding down the fort.
You got stuck behind.
I got stuck behind. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think we could see that happening as well, but because it is probably what they're going to call the final chapter of the saga. I think maybe we'll get one before the end of the year.
So yeah, Kim, what Mark is saying is The Last Jedi promotional marketing train left a little later, but Force Awakens was there early because maybe it needed to be. Where do you think?
Well, there's something else that happened differently this year. I
Yeah.
mean, since 2015, December has been Star Wars time.
Right.
But
Yeah.
not this year because of Solo being released in early summer for some reason.
Thanks, Bob Iger.
I don't think that was a good idea.
No.
I think there's a serious dearth of Star Wars content right now, or Star Wars cinematic content, and people are going to be hungry for it. And wouldn't it be funny if they teased Avengers 4, but instead we got Episode 9?
Episode 9.
It's like,
God,
you're
I
still
would
happy,
love that.
right?
Yeah.
First of all, Kim used one of my favorite words, which is dearth. Has always been one of my favorite words. So point Horcher on the
Yay.
board. Start
It's
using
almost
good words,
Darth.
Mark.
I will use great words soon.
Look, the argument can always be made. These movies, you're going to see them regardless. You don't need a trailer. But there's some value, Mark, to this promotional train. Kim's right. Star Wars, no longer in December, at least this year, we should say. We know Episode 9 is. They still want a little piece of that landscape to say, hey, a year from now, save your holiday season for us.
Yeah, I think it would be smart. I think it'd be fun. You know, we're coming off of Solo. Not a lot of people. My mother still hasn't seen Solo, which is crazy. I always go through the prism of my mother's attention to pop culture and movies. She sees everything. Solo came and she's like, haven't gotten around to it. Hey, did you get the Blu-ray from work? I said, yeah, I did. She said, okay, bring it down next time. I brought it down for Thanksgiving. She never popped it in. So
Wow.
I'm wondering if there are a lot of people out there. You could look at the box office at Solo and go, yeah, there were a lot of people that didn't see this movie. And so here we are, the Christmas season, no Star Wars out there. Let's start the hype train. Let's get everybody excited for the final episode in the Skywalker saga. Let's do it. I think, I don't know. And going back to Frosty, I trust him so much. The guy sources and sources and sources. And he went on Twitter and he said, it is a rumor. I'm not going to put it on Collider.com because this is just what I'm hearing. But that's where it starts. So everybody covered his tweet saying, we're getting one in December. He's calling a rumor right now. I still buy it. I still think it could happen.
Right.
So again, it makes a lot of sense.
The hype train.
The hype train. That's what
train.
they say. That's what the kids say.
I choose to believe that we might be getting this in December, which I didn't think. Kim, I was thinking Star Wars Celebration. That makes some sense.
Let's be Star Wars friends.
I bet my Wookiee.
Simpsons. But let's talk about patience, Kim. Do you have patience? Do you have patience for this?
Not really.
Yeah.
You want this now?
Be honest. I like it.
I was taught growing up that patience is a woman's virtue. And I don't have it.
Poison is a woman's weapon from Game of Thrones. Is this the weird lessons that
I've
we've been
never
taught?
learned how to use poison.
Well,
I use my fists.
see? Kim Urso. Kim Urso's
See,
here.
I'm seeing
I
Anna
rebel.
Kim
No,
here.
no,
patience.
No. I mean, it is fair. Everything's fair.
Right.
You can be on the Jedi Council without
Yes.
being a master. It's fine.
Absolutely. So you do, but you'd want this now. Like, and again, let's be honest, any Star Wars footage comes out, we're going to do 59 videos and think pieces and everything. So yeah, we all want it out. But
I think people would just be happy if we had, the title. If they just had a teaser that was like Episode 9,
yeah,
it's going down, or whatever they call it.
I kind of want that to be the title now.
I made that up.
Star Wars
Don't put
Episode
it on
9.
Collider.
It's going down.
Sweet Home Act 2.
Yes,
I like it. Well, that would be fun. I mean,
but what can we? So let's just play along with this idea here.
Okay.
Again, we're reporting on rumors. You're right. And everyone. This is how the movie news industry works now. Someone tweets something and it becomes fact 2 stories later. Frosty saying, hey, I'm hearing things. We all kind of hear things, and then some things slip under the radar. What if, I like Kim's idea here of it's just some kind of footage, sounds, dialogue, title, something like that. Would you want, or would you just give me that full teaser trailer? Give me BB-8 running across Jakku.
yeah, I love the idea of the announcement of the title is in a form of a teaser, because what I've noticed always with all the titles, you hear them first, then you get a look, right? And I remember driving around hearing on the radio from 95.5 that The Phantom Menace was coming. And I was like,
Right.
I was in the car. I was like, Phantom Menace? I pulled over. I was like, I got to think about this. That's how nerdy I was.
No,
This
I was there with you too.
Yeah,
I did
it's
this.
just like
the Phantom.
I remember I was on my way to work and I was like, wait a minute, and I pulled over. That's a podcast for another time. But wouldn't that be great? Yeah, like you said, Ken, we have like some images, maybe some dialogue that we heard. You know, maybe it's Luke Skywalker saying, "I will not be the last Jedi," and then Kylo Ren says something, and then Rey says something, and then we see flashes, and then boom. And the title appears, I think everybody would lose their mind.
Everybody would love it. And they
that
wouldn't
would be
have
fun.
to give away too much.
And they wouldn't have to give away too much. And we get the title, which is like all of us are like, thank you more.
How's it go? Exactly.
I felt that was very
Schnepp.
I felt that was very Schnepp.
Schnepp spirit was always felt in the studio.
Yes,
so yes,
absolutely.
That is absolutely it. All right, let's round this corner on this discussion here. I think you guys are collaborating on a great pitch for a teaser trailer.
Yeah.
Big win for me there. But let's put the money down on the table at the Gold Coast Casino in Las Vegas, where I go and stay for $25 a night.
Wow.
Yeah.
Actually, one time I stayed in the Imperial Palace for $4 for the whole weekend.
Yeah.
I want to do what you guys do.
It's easy.
Slots.
It's slots.
Game of Thrones slots. I find that there. But let's go to the sports book and put this down here, or the Jedi book. Do you think this happens, say, around Christmas, Mark, Reilly? Yes or no? Final answer.
Yes.
All right.
Yes.
One yes.
Yeah.
Kim Horcher.
That's a yes.
Big yes.
Yeah.
I am actually going to go no. I don't think so.
Yeah.
I don't think so. I think they're going to win.
No,
I think we got to get this Avengers thing up. But no, you're on yes. You're on
I'm
yes.
using the power of positive thinking.
It does work. This is why I'm a
Maybe.
failure at a lot of things.
No, I'll stand by my yes. I think they'll show it.
Cody, give me a thumbs up for a yes. He's got a yes. 3-1.
Cody.
The yeses carry it.
That's my boy.
All right, next story up here. We're getting into Rumorville and spoiler territory. Throw up that warning there, spoiler. And it's, we got to look at this stuff here, Mark Reilly, and I'll go through some of the stories here. But we got a lot of this stuff. Look, we always talk about this. A lot of stuff comes from Reddit, which is, like doing a history essay off of Wikipedia research. It's going to be a little subject to change.
Yeah.
So they're talking about a surprise, a rumor of Rey and a character teaming up for something here, and then I could see by the title here that a lot of insinuations that it's Rose. So this combo doesn't get talked about a lot, and that's where I want this conversation to focus. Is less what we think's going to happen in the movie, some weird internet source, but the character relationship of these two, because in the novel they're not too keen on each other. They don't spend time with each other. But Rey has a little bit of like protectiveness over Finn, and then Rose kind of resents a little bit. Finn's always looking over it and doing everything to save his friend. And I think they'll overcome that. But these characters, do you want to see them on any level teaming up, Kim?
I mean, based on what you just described, yes, I don't like it when the only two major female characters are at odds with each other over a man. But I'm also trying to guess what they have to offer each other in terms of a team up, and I'm not exactly sure what that is.
Okay, I like that. Yeah, and you're absolutely right. Like, we don't want the only major two characters
like, come
going on right
they're
now.
better characters than that.
It's an
old trope.
They're fighting over Finn, and we all know Finn wants Poe.
Oh,
so,
that's what I want too.
So, and maybe vice versa. So, Reilly, I think that's a great question by Kim in our little fantasy booking here. What are these characters? What could they bring at this level?
I'm kind of with Kim. I don't like the idea of them not liking each other. I don't think it's consistent with Rey's character, actually, if she, especially being a Jedi, that she's gonna like hold some grudge. I don't want to see that.
To be clear, it's not like she's like pouting in the corner. There's just this there's
Maybe
a connection between her and Finn, and she kind of and in the movie she has a real positive feeling when she's looking at her. In the book, there's just a little bit more like, oh, this is the girl that Finn's been going over. But I agree with Kim's point. Then it kind of could boil it down to something that takes away from these two characters in the story. But I think Kim brings up a good point. Is let's just talk about them teaming up. How could that work? We got a Jedi. We got a techie. put them together?
Well, I mean, on paper, I like it. I mean, I think it's fun, and I hope that, it doesn't. And you know what? I actually feel from what you just said there, filling that in, they might not go there with the movie. It could just, we don't know where the timeline is, too. So we could get some, character thoughts in the novelization, but in the movie, they could be working together and really play up the dynamic between Jedi and Techie. And what does that do? What do they need to do? Why are they together? And then the other one, maybe Poe and Finn, maybe teaming up. So you got your big four doing their thing, going off in different directions, echoes of Return of the Jedi. Maybe we have characters over here taking one bit of the galaxy and dealing with this, a set of characters over here. Where is Rey going to end up? Because I always like my space battle, land battle, lightsaber battle that happens in some of these movies. So where is that going to end up? I like the idea of them together. By the end of The Last Jedi, I was actually circling Poe and Rey. I was hoping for something, coming, a team up there.
Or a nice Italian dinner. You want a team up.
A team up with them. I know that there was that, some people were like, ooh, is there going to be a romance there? Because it was like, hi, yeah, we haven't met yet. No, yeah, I was just standing next to you over there after Force Awakens. But wouldn't that be interesting? There's great team-ups that we haven't seen yet. We got Finn and Rose. We got Poe and Finn, Rey and Finn. It would be nice to see kind of some movement around. So I don't know. Again, this is Reddit, so...
Yeah, absolutely. I like this idea too of Poe and Finn, Kim. Poe and Rey. I'm getting all my names messed up today. I like that moment at the end of Last Jedi, and I know it's in the Force Awakens novel, but I like seeing it on screen. It adds some value to Rey. He might be leading things, and she might be creating a new way to fight as a Jedi. Do you see them as kind of the de facto leaders? You want them kind of teaming up at the top, or do you still want some other people in charge? We know Leia's going to be around.
Do you mean Poe and Rey?
Poe and Rey.
I mean, they're both really dynamic in battle. I mean, of the four of them, they're the two strongest fighters.
Right.
I would like to see that. I don't know if we will. I think they might be too unstoppable.
Unstoppable together. It'd be pretty if he's flying around and she's good at flying, good at shooting from the Falcon too. But I guess it leads to the big question of what do we want out of Rey in the series? And you talk about timeline, Mark. There's this other rumor, again, from Reddit, the source of all valuable information, that this could happen a year. The story could take place a year after The Last Jedi. I like the idea. We definitely need space this time around. I love Force Awakens and Jedi being connected. There was something different. Yeah. But in a year's time, what do you want Rey to have accomplished?
Ooh, that's a good
if we're playing
question.
around with that timeline.
Yeah. I like the year. Yeah, I think a year is good to see where the resistance or the rebellion now is.
Right.
Where have they planted their flags as far as the support? Because General Leia, sending out that beacon and not getting a response, but then escaping. Rey having the Jedi text. What does that mean? So where could she be? I don't know. I wonder if, again, we've talked about the idea of her rebuilding the Jedi Order.
Right.
I wonder if maybe a year from now she's like, I don't know. God, that's such a good question. I really don't know. And that's what I love so much about The Last Jedi. I really do, is that it is a very definitive ending. It is very open-ended. And so the timeline question is like, Reddit? Sure. A year? Great. I could see 2. I could see 5. It's very interesting to think that we could get whatever, but maybe Rey with Rose is establishing a base where she could train some Jedi. I don't know.
I definitely don't. Yeah, I am not on the train. I don't want her training Jedi or have been trained. If it's a year or so after, I like that timeline, Kim, because I want Rey to finish this war.
Well, we have to think about what kind of Jedi is Rey, especially with no guidance from Luke right now. Mm-hmm. And I don't know. I mean, she could kind of follow in Luke's footsteps where she developed her own version of what it is. Right. When Obi-Wan and Yoda were telling him, oh, you have to destroy Vader, and he does it his own way, and he's more in tune with his feelings. Yeah. Maybe she's that kind of Jedi. I don't know. But she's not ready to be teaching others yet.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely don't want to rush that. Definitely. Yeah, that's a great point.
I love that point too, because it feels a little bit like we got that in The Last Jedi as far as her relationship with Kylo Ren. It seems to echo, at least I could see it going in that direction, Luke seeing good in his father,
Right.
Darth Vader, Anakin Skywalker. She seeks Kylo Ren out in a kind of a similar situation that I saw echoed in The Last Jedi and Return of the Jedi, where he's brought into the throne room in front of the Emperor and Darth Vader, but she continued to have this relationship with Kylo Ren. So I like the idea of, maybe it's not rebuilding any Jedi, but she's learning this on her own, but most of her attention is fixated on Kylo Ren, and I think he could be saved. But I know, I'm with you.
Making a face off camera.
I know. I don't know. There's that big debate. Is Kylo redeemable? With Vader, it's a little bit different. We never saw him actually killing people. We saw Kylo Ren kill his father. So that is leaving an impression on all of us.
First of all, the family of Kendall Ozzel would like to say they definitely saw Vader kill.
Yes, and I know there's a ton of material out there.
But no, but your point is actually pretty valid, because by Return of the Jedi, everything Vader had done was from somewhat of a distance. All right, he chokes a couple Imperial officers. No one's gonna, I like Lorth Nita, but I don't think people are gonna be rooting for Lorth Nita. So Kylo, it's definitely different. So I think they've done a lot of the same things, but there's this feeling of Kylo's not redeemable. Plus, Luke and Leia are both like in Episode 8, like, no, he's gone. So yes, Kylo.
It's worrisome that Kylo Ren is her only connection or other person who uses the Force that she knows of.
Right.
Because then she could be influenced by him, and I don't love that personally.
Yeah.
But maybe they could bring balance to the Force in a way. I think that's the best case scenario.
Right.
I'm wondering,
balance.
and I'm wondering how they can possibly do this because of our loss with Carrie Fisher. What are they going to do with General Leia? We saw that she is Force. She has the Force. She saved herself.
She is Force.
She is
Force.
She is. Remember using big words? Kim did it. I don't do it.
She Force.
She Force. Good. Real fine. So what if I would love? I don't know how they're going to do it, but I feel like it's tragic that maybe because of limitations using old footage of Carrie Fisher, how they could do it. But man, wouldn't it be great to see Rey get a little bit of Force teachings from Leia? Right. Like, this is what Luke taught me. Because there had to be something that happened. Ken, you might know better than me if there was any canon material how Leia was able to use the Force to save herself. Was that because of Luke? Some talk.
No, it's a little more instinctual with her, especially like Leia of Alderaan. Leia of Alderaan, you go back to Claudia Gray's book, stuff starts to happen where she's like, I don't understand, and then Bloodline during the napkin bombing incident, she kind of gets that sense of something.
She gets that sense.
But it's Jason Fry in the novelization does a good job kind of explaining a little bit more what it is. So it's like she's using it. I know it's Rey, she has to kind of feels the need to survive for Rey a little bit too in that moment. A lot of different things, but she definitely has that power. And again, she was supposed to be, we know in canon now, the first student of Luke. Luke was going to be like, cool, now sit down, and she decided that would take her away from serving the galaxy her best way, which was through government. So it's there, I think, because in the Poe Dameron comic there. And that issue I love, issue 14, it's my favorite issue of the Poe Dameron comic, and she talks about, we're luminous beings, and I won't always be here. And then Poe quotes Leia quoting Luke with some Force advice in a way. Oh. And so, I would love to see us getting those moments between Rey and Leia. That'd be great. Like we got some, but I really want them to have. Whether we can, we'll see with technology. I don't know. Final question. We got one coming in. We talked about a little bit last week about Tatooine versus Jakku, but a little more specifically, using the hashtag Collider Jedi Council. Tim Langlil writes, do you think Episode 9 will take Rey back to Jakku? So we talked about this last week of, would you want a final fight on Tatooine? Because that kind of is a Skywalker saga thing. Would you want Rey to go back to Jakku in any way, shape, or form? So Kim, you're thinking.
I'm trying to think if Jakku has anything significant to Rey. And I can only think of her hovel.
Right.
Is there anything there that I don't know?
I don't think. Mark, I'm cutting you off. Go for it.
No, I wasn't. I was actually looking to see if I was trying to Force connect with you, whether you were going to bring up Aftermath, because isn't there stuff in the But
Well,
that's
there's stuff on Jakku. There's the Emperor's Observatory, and Gallius Rax is there, and the contingency plan, all those neat little things, which I love the Aftermath series. But I thought that was all leading up to a little bit more something with Rey. Not even who she was or what her lineage was, but just some reason for her being on that planet other than coincidence. I don't know if that's emerged yet.
Okay.
But there's got to be some emotional significance if she goes back and separates herself from how she used to wait. But I don't know if that's powerful enough story-wise.
Have we divorced ourselves away from the idea that Rey has significant lineage? And I think we kind of have.
I have, but I am bracing for impact of some kind of other explanation.
Yeah,
if that makes sense. Because I love Rey from Nowhere. I love this idea that it's the lesson of you can be anybody, and
she's like Spider-Man.
Yes.
Anyone can wear the mask.
Anyone can wear the mask. But we'll see about that. We'll see about that.
Yeah, I like I will stand by. I love the idea that she is, quote unquote, a nobody, and becomes the galaxy's last hope, the last Jedi, what have you. I wonder if they will do something, a big reveal. As far as Jakku, I always like my echoes in the Star Wars universe, and Luke going back to Tatooine, having to go back to Tatooine and Return of the Jedi. Maybe there's something that happens that she has to go back to Jakku. Maybe just something very simple like that. She has to get something. But who knows? Maybe I'll be fine if she doesn't.
Yeah, I am less and less interested in the idea of her going back to Jakku, but I definitely really wanted that early on, and now I don't know story-wise if it's needed. You have to give us something. But question comes up a lot. Final thing here in the news, Cody, I don't think you have this one. I don't think we talked about this. Kevin Smith, we love Kevin, man. Kevin's a great dude, wears his passions on his sleeves and his vegan no-meat meals, which I'm going to try to switch to because I don't want to have to deal with what he dealt with. He got to go to the Episode 9 set, of course, because he went to the Episode 7 set, friends with JJ, all that kind of stuff. Much like he did with Episode 7, he comes back reporting great things and crying. Says, JJ's doing the Lord's work. The movie looks fantastic. It's a year away, but man, it looks fantastic. I wept on set because I saw somebody give a career best performance. Somebody I've seen in these movies before. I rolled a tear. It was so darn powerful. Biggest set I've ever seen in my life. The dude's not directing a movie. It's like he's directing a small country. So, talk about hype train. That might be the teaser trailer we need. Just Kevin talking about it.
Who gave their career best performance, do you think?
Kim, you're a great host because that's what I want to ask right now.
I don't know if I'm great because I stole your question.
Nope.
You set it up.
Nope.
Career best. So it's someone who isn't known for just these movies.
Career best. I don't know.
Isaac?
Oscar Isaac's a good bet.
Adam Driver?
Adam Driver. Mark Hamill.
I go
Billy
Mark
D.
Hamill.
Williams.
Billy D.
Oh, yes, I
yeah?
wanted to talk about this.
Yeah?
I was so upset that he didn't respond to Leia's beacon.
Right.
He should have.
Right.
Your
Maybe
old friend Lando didn't come through.
Maybe we'll get a little bit of something about Lando getting that beacon in 9.
Not being able to respond or something
I would
like
love
that. So
I always go Mark Hamill. Because Luke Skywalker's my man.
And coming off of a pretty darn good performance in The Last Jedi. So
I know. I want to fill it in with my some Force Ghost teachings with Rey and together, and then there's this epic moment of probably some reveal, maybe like a la Obi-Wan Luke on Dagobah after Yoda passes. Who knows?
Maybe it's Anthony Daniels.
Anthony Daniels would be fantastic.
That monologue that 3PO gave, Golden Globe worthy.
That'd be hysterical.
It's interesting, but hey, you know what? Here's the thing. I love hearing this stuff from Kevin Smith. I love it because he is a fan, man. He is a fan, and he wears it on his sleeve, and he loves this stuff. And I get emotional over talking about Admiral Raddus in Rogue One. So if Kevin Smith can go to the set and see it, and he's doing such a good job. But this might be the teaser trailer we need because he's giving these little there's this big set, big fight, great performance, but no information. So I don't know. It means something, right, Kim? When a super fan gets excited.
Yeah, I remember I cried at the celebration before Force Awakens.
Oh yeah.
There's pictures all over my Instagram of me crying and eating a piece of toast that said Star Wars on it while crying because I was really moved by the Chewie We're Home teaser.
Yeah.
And I think if anyone can do it, it's probably JJ again. There's evidence.
Yeah. Well, that Chewie we're home shot, I mean, it is engineered to pull on all the strings because it's reminiscent of a 1976 promotional shot. It has got the colors. It's got everything that looks like A New Hope. So, yeah, I cried with you. Well, not with you. I was in Prim, Nevada coming back from Vegas, but
I was crying
nonetheless.
I was crying as well.
You know, you cry often, Reilly.
Yeah,
it's fun.
it's very,
It's okay.
very easy for me to cry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ian Walters there too says great conversation concerning Kylo Ren episode 9. I don't want him to be redeemed, but rather he go full dark side and bring in the Knights of Ren. At this point, I like that idea too. If he's going to choose,
Yeah.
go big or go home.
I love that idea. We talked about it on the latest Rule of Two as well, the idea of bringing back the Knights of Ren. I think it would make sense.
Yeah.
I think it serves the story very well because they were set up in Force Awakens. We didn't see them. We wonder what's going on. And when you think about Kylo Ren becoming Supreme Leader, maybe he has to get his new Praetorian Guards, and they are the Knights of Ren. It's just something I would like to see. I know that's
detail,
it's a banging on the drum with joining with the fans that want this, but it would make a lot of sense. And then to go full dark side, I'm always wanting and wondering, is there going to be references to Sith? Could he look for an apprentice? Is it Rey? He keeps trying to get Rey back. We're going to continue that through line of join me, we'll take over the galaxy kind of thing. Knights of Ren could come in there. Who knows? Big lightsaber battle. I would love all that. I would love for Kylo Ren to remain dark side and die a dark side user. That just would seem different for the expectations of everybody that say he is going to follow maybe Vader's path, redemption. I would love subverting that expectation and dealing with the weight of that no, he went out as he came in.
And that's how we end the Skywalker saga. He's, you know.
Yeah.
God, isn't that interesting though?
But that's because what you're talking about to me is more interesting. If Kylo just, we always talk about Kylo Unchained, and that's why I love Snoke dying and all that stuff. But yeah, I want him to commit. But then, all right.
I mean,
how does this movie end? You
remember at the end of Jedi how it was supposed to be more dark originally, and then Lucas was like, "No, every principle lives."
Yeah.
Do you think they could be doing that again, or have times changed enough that they can take the dark ending?
I think times have definitely changed in terms of storylines. I was having the conversation with my friend last night about Game of Thrones, and Game of Thrones changed a lot of our expectations of just story, how we want to take stories. And there's a lot of shows, you know, Star Trek, New Generation, Next Generation was serialized and one of the first things of you watch week to week. But Game of Thrones just exploded it, and we now want to watch things in 10 parts, and we don't want to clear cut who we're rooting for. I love Cersei, but I also know she's bad. Like Tywin is great, but I think things have changed, but Star Wars, to your point, Kib, I think Star Wars, you always need to go back to what Lucas wanted this to be, which was a crazy serial preaching morality to 12-year-olds. And that doesn't necessarily mean, unless it's a lesson that Kylo, he chose poorly, and that's the lesson. I don't know.
Do you think this generation would be different if they had taken the ending where Han dies and Luke walks into the sunset like a desperado?
I think I would have been different. I don't know.
So maybe they'll be like, humanity depends on us having a happy ending. We can't. The next generation has to be positive.
Yeah.
I love that. We can't. Somebody think of the children.
Someone please think of the children.
There we go. So that's our look at movie news. But again, we're going to move into everyone's favorite segment, including Christian. What's the deal with Cannon? Cannon in the car getting coffee or whatever it is.
Yeah.
This has kind of been the spot, Mark. This section has been where all the big news has come along, and we've got a lot to choose from. I'm going to start with this, what I think's the most important one this week, which is Cassian Andor, the TV series that's coming out in undisclosed time, has added a showrunner. It's the American's executive producer, Stephen Schiff. There's also, I'm trying to get the story there. One of the writers is the guy behind Zootopia and Moana. I'm trying to see if it's in the story. And my friend Joseph Scrimshaw over at Force Center pointed out a good fact that when he was involved in Zootopia, it was less about, we had police characters. It was more actually a spy story. So
Oh.
we've got the Americans. We've got a guy who's written some spy stuff. We're going to have a good old-fashioned spy series with Cassian Andor. Your thoughts on Stephen Schiff joining this project?
Based on everything I've heard from people that loved the Americans, I listen to them when they get excited. I'm not familiar with the series, but then you look at what the series is about. Yeah, this is great. This is great to think that it's Cassian Andor series spy. Maybe him doing the dirty work as we saw in Rogue One for the rebellion, making those hard choices, having to take somebody out that is a part of his own cause, but for the bigger cause. What is that going to look like? Intrigue, double crosses, spies in the Empire.
Right.
What are we going to get? This guy, from what I heard, has done that in his body of work. So this sounds like a great appointment.
Yeah, it's Jared Bush originated the project and wrote a pilot script and a pitch Bible. So Kim, we got ourselves a spy story for sure, which is kind of what we were expecting. But
I mean, when you say Zootopia, I think of it being a not incredibly opaque view on, a critique on society.
right.
Because we had all these different, it wasn't really black and white, but you get it by the end of what they're looking at and what qualities and values they're looking at. And I really liked the way they handled it.
Great point.
Where it wasn't just, oh, that's the bad guy and that's the good guy and he's like this because of this.
Yeah. That's excellent insight, Kim, because we see with Cassian Andor already that, he kills, Tivik to start Rogue One, and he's feeling guilty. He was with us. We keep talking about he was a separatist, or at least his family was. So, shades of gray for sure. So if they can deal with it in that kind of way, that's intriguing in Star Wars. We just were talking about Star Wars just has to be this core of joy and 12-year-olds, but
well, maybe
now we got this.
The cinematic world does.
Ah, yeah.
But we're a little bit off the center here.
Yes, I like that. I like that idea. Mark, we're gonna find some dark things out about Cassian Andor.
I like it so much. Yeah, I want that. We've seen it. Like I said, I always go to Rogue One. We've seen this kind of idea that he has some darkness to him. Do it for the cause. I would love to go full intrigue, full deep. What does that building of the rebellion look like? Could we get some references to the prequels? I know there was that deleted scene. Could Bail Organa be a part of this?
The whole sequence of Mon Mothma.
Yes, Mon Mothma.
Padme, that's the character.
Padme,
Bai Ling is a senator. She was in there, and that scene was cut.
Right.
We don't have to.
So there's so many things that we, obviously with the deleted scene, we didn't get that. But, you could look at us sweaties can look at that and go, ooh, there's a possibility there. Bail Organa makes a lot of sense for maybe a character. Jimmy Smith's coming back.
What I love too is, I was talking about this recently on Force Center, of the idea of the rebellion as we know it forms closer to the events of Rogue One and New Hope. Actually, Rogue One's their first proclamation. That's why I love the Radis moment. And then Mothma in Rebels is where we see her give her speech of, we are now this Rebel Alliance, and the ship starts showing. So that's the Rebel Alliance we kind of know, but it's this growth pattern of 20 years where a lot of these resistance pockets and rebellion cells form up naturally. Enfys Nest forms out of the oppression of this group of people she's got. Saw Gerrera's forms out of what happened at Onderon and everything, and they start to move. And so if Cassian's kind of going through that, and again, Saw's rocket launching at children at an event in the book Rebel Rising, but ends justify the means. All this that is intriguing to me as well. And we can stick to the morality, but you're right, Kim. We're off here to the left. TV, you're paying for it. Let's see Cassian Andor's butt is what I'm saying, Cody.
Yeah,
Cody?
show his butt.
No? Okay.
No?
Maybe. I'm for it.
Tried.
The other TV series coming along fast.
Yeah.
And we got a couple bits of information this week. The Russo brothers, they're out talking about not dropping Avengers Force trailers. They were talking about they could do a set visit. There was that photo of, I think, Taika Waititi, Favreau, and the Russos, Marvel Directors Unite type of situation. But they were praising this Mandalorian series for how it's being shot and visually being different. And that Favreau, who again has worked with Jungle Book, Lion King, he's got this style that he's bringing to those. Not that I'm, expecting to see real life Ewoks look different, but maybe. They're focusing on that first, of how this looks. Are you excited for that? What is that? What do you think, Mark? What's ears on the ground? What are you hearing?
I'm hearing nothing. I think that this is they are the Russo brothers. I'm sure they are friends with Taika Waititi, who is directing an episode. They are friends with Jon Favreau because of the Marvel connection. All of them connected through Marvel. Marvel's Disney. Russo brothers, powerful. They were probably, I don't know what they're doing, why they're there, other than maybe, hey, I want to see this because they are Star Wars fans. The Russos are Star Wars fans. So the idea that they would come into this and look around at the shooting, these guys are directors, so it makes sense that the first words out of their mouth, as well as their ability to navigate the spoiler territory and stand firm saying, no, you want an Avengers trailer? They don't care. They want to protect the integrity of their own work and Avengers. And they're doing that for the fans. They don't want the fans to be spoiled for whatever reason. So for them to say, they're working on the look of this, they're doing something different here, maybe technology-wise, that makes a lot of sense. And that to me is like, awesome. I'm glad. I don't need to hear a lot about this. Just just pump it into my eyes the minute it comes out.
Kim, they're talking about Favreau shooting this in a way like not a lot of people have done. What are you expecting from this?
I'm not sure, because when you say all of these Marvel directors are on set and maybe they're taking cues from Marvel, it's maybe not the best idea, I think, because you shoot a Star Wars movie very differently than you shoot a Marvel movie.
Absolutely.
Right.
I don't know what to think of this. When you said, maybe there's a different version of what Ewoks look like, I got excited, because maybe they'll be like, in every Star Trek, the Klingons look different. What if Ewoks look different in every Star Wars?
I mean, I have my Murder Bear t-shirt on. That you can compare that.
Maybe they'll blink.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, they did that.
This one's not blinking.
Yeah, I know.
I've been waiting for days.
He's been staring at me this entire time.
Give him a snack. Give him a snack.
Maybe I got a milk bone here.
Yeah, that guy's wise.
He'll eat your brain.
Yeah, exactly.
That is canon.
That absolutely is. To me, I just hear this stuff, and I think Favreau's might be doing. I think there might be more motion capture voice work in this series than things going on set, because it's been shooting for a long time, and we haven't. There's no leaks of actors on sets that we know of. It's something fun going on here, the way they're approaching the series. And speaking of fun, well, there was that one rumor, I don't know if it's confirmed, but Carl Weathers is going to get his stew on in Mandalorian. But Nick Nolte joining the cast. Now, I will admit, I had heard this rumor floating around for a couple weeks. I was kind of sitting on this rumor. You never know with those rumors.
Yeah.
So I was happy to see this confirmed. Look at that, Nick Nolte. Nick Nolte. What the hell do you think Nick Nolte's going to do in a Star Wars? I love it, but what do you think?
I mean, from his, I've said it now ever since they announced him. I'm like, he's at a bar with scum and villainy. He's got. I mean, if you just look at Nick Nolte and his body of work and where he is now, very grizzled and ornery. He's just sitting there drinking. Pedro Pascal comes in, Mandalorian, takes off the mask, sits down, we got to talk.
Right.
Something like that. I don't know. Now, could Nick Nolte be doing a big alien character and there's mocap?
Yeah.
That sounds awesome too, but
Can you get Nick Nolte in those little skin tight suits
exactly?
With the
I don't know the man.
I don't want to. What am I doing this?
Yeah,
this is acting.
Can you imagine him in the Thanos gear that Brolin is rocking? It's like the mocap suit with the thing. He walks in and goes, I look effing ridiculous. I don't know.
I'm like a Lupita Nyong'o type.
Yeah, maybe. I like the idea of Nick Nolte, sure, makeup and costume, but no need for mocap, no alien. You're not going to bury that face in anything other than. I picture him as just who he is. Look at him right now. He can walk on the set right now without a costume change with that picture, and I'd buy it.
If he's like Wu Hare's uncle from Chalmers Cantina in Mos Eisley.
Nice.
I think that'd be okay. I like this idea. Does it take you out, Kim, when
big stars?
Big stars.
I don't know, because I see the principles of Star Wars already as big stars.
True.
Yeah.
True.
So I don't know. Maybe he's a Saw Gerrera type.
Yeah.
Maybe he has 2 eye patches. I don't know.
That's not a bad comparison. Forrest Whitaker is Forrest Whitaker. You
Yeah.
see him, but I love the character Saw Gerrera, especially actually in Rebels. I think he's great when he's yelling at Mothma. But yeah, I don't know. Yeah, two eye patches on Nolte might work. We'll find out soon. And this news got dropped yesterday. For those fans of Thrawn, both new and old, a new Thrawn novel, as much anticipated and expected, is coming out. It is, Timothy Zahn's doing Thrawn Treason. And this will be set in the time frame of Star Wars Rebels, so he's not taking the Purgle train out with Ezra, but he will be dealing with the Emperor, Eli Vanto, returning from his homeworld in the unknown regions with some Doc Brown-like Great Scott Marty, with just something about your kid's information, and he's got to make this choice. He's pledged his loyalty to the Emperor and the Empire, but he's got a lot of what he's doing is for his home, for the Chiss ascendancy. Now he might have to make a choice. It's treason, then. Kim, Thrawn. Here, now, and forever. What do you think about Thrawn? I know you don't watch Rebels.
Nope.
Or haven't watched it as much as others.
I haven't watched, and everybody's mad at me.
I'm not mad at you. I'm not mad at you.
You're not on Twitter.
I'm on
You
Twitter.
are on Twitter.
I'm on Twitter. Oh, yelling. Does it make you feel better if it's yelling at you on Twitter? No.
Yeah, it makes me really want to watch it when you yell at
When
me
you
about
yell?
it. Yeah,
Yeah.
just negative reinforcement. It gets my blood pumping.
That's great.
Thrawn, so is he committing treason?
He might have the choice of.
Would
might
he
have the
commit
choice.
treason? Is he too shrewd and
Depends, 'cause
hyper-focused?
The new,
Does he have a heart inside?
I think he does. The new Thrawn is definitely really focused on his homeworld and his people and what he can learn from the Emperor and the Empire to help his people. But he also, as we know in Rebels, kind of sees things for the end. He has pledged again loyalty to the Emperor. So I don't know. Intriguing, Mark Reilly.
It's intriguing. Maybe he's not. Thrawn is not, doing the act of treason, but he's doing something that the Emperor then goes, that's treason, and and does a coup or whatever. I don't know. I haven't read the novels.
Yeah,
I haven't
read the new ones.
Haven't
Do you
read
like
the new
him in
ones.
Rebels?
I love him in Rebels.
You love him in Rebels?
Yeah, I love him in
The new
Rebels,
novels.
so I can kind of see.
But you read Heir of the Empire and Dark Force Rising and Last Command. No?
Yes, I did.
Okay, but it's been a while.
It's been a while. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's been a long while since I
It's
read
just
those
mostly
books.
about hot chocolate. But
Yeah, that's right.
yeah, and a clone named Luke. So tell me your legends.
Yeah,
is
Jorah
better.
Seabath.
Yeah.
I forgot about Luke.
Luke. But Thrawn stands out in that series. He's a favorite for a reason. I've grown up liking Thrawn. I'm starting to wonder if I don't like him as much as I thought, because I'm not pulled in by a lot of the newer stuff with Thrawn. And Zahn is writing him. But Kim, with you, did you catch the Thrawn fever like a lot of people did years ago?
Eh,
Yeah.
Yeah.
he's not to my taste.
Yeah. Your tastes are Jen Urso throwing things
Yeah,
at
yeah.
Cassian Andor.
Just-
Right. That's
I
what
like
we learned.
that, yeah.
That's what we learned. Yeah, it's interesting. But I know a lot of people are very excited. And this character, I mean, when he was revealed, it was, standing ovation level response to this character at that Star Wars Celebration in London. And Thrawn's novels, so I think the new Thrawn ones by Zahn are very slow and methodical, because that's Thrawn.
That's Thrawn.
But they have interesting revelations. The second one, the alliances with Anakin, the Clone Wars era stuff was very interesting. We got a lot of Padme, great stuff with Padme, and great stuff with her and Anakin's relationship kind of in action, so to speak, out in the field. And it led up to a great reveal. I wouldn't want to spoil for anyone who didn't read it, but it didn't have giant ramifications for Star Wars. It's just this little that's cool and haunting, and Thrawn's perceptive. So I'm not sure what to expect of this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Same.
Yeah? What about this other series? Marvel's announcing this new Vader Dark Visions series.
Yeah. The cover.
Vader on a horse.
Vader on a horse. I never know I needed this
Sorry,
until I saw it.
I wish I had time to get this to Cody, but yeah, Darth Vader is on a horse with a shield, and there's two-headed eagles flying around him.
Yeah.
It looks like he's in Mordor.
I need to see this photo.
Here, let me try to.
This is the propaganda poster from the Empire. It's
This
like,
is-
join us, and it's like,
There
woo!
you
It's
go.
a version of our American flag
Here,
and all that.
Here you go, Kim. That's
Vader is manly.
Yeah.
That's
That's awesome. It looks great.
It looks like he's
It
Nazgul.
makes me feel weird.
It looks like
It's like it's a little medieval-y and fantasy.
medieval Vader. Yes, like I have those. Back when all those crossover T-shirts were filling up my closet, I have like Vader sitting on the Iron Throne in Game of Clones. I get it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of like that. But so writer Dennis Hopeless, that's a name, will be taking those serious. But here's the thing: this is a Darth Vader. Looking at Darth Vader from a different point of view, this is exactly the series that Chuck Wendig was working on when he got ousted, and they had 3 issues done, and now it looks as though they're just putting a fresh coat of paint on all of this. I'm still interested because I was really looking forward to what Wendig was going to write. I think he understands Vader. He has some great stuff in the Vader annual number 2 of Vader at the Petronaki Arena and all the stuff kind of remembering what had happened before. So I don't know. I'm less excited for this now. Nothing against Dennis. The guy's got a job to do, and, God bless him for it. But I don't know. But I am going to see Vader on a horse.
It reminds me of those old crossover fan arts, or they, would maybe draw Luke as a knight.
Right. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Some kind of fan fiction art there.
I got to get into the Darth Vader comics in general. I never got into them. I've fallen off the comics. I did that run of Star Wars. There's a lot.
There's a lot.
I got to say, as somebody that is a huge Star Wars fan, as you know, it's a little overwhelming for me to get into the canon material. The comics and the books, there seems to be a lot of it, and I know that is not a problem for many, many, many people.
I highly recommend losing your job and having nothing to do but read these comics and books.
Okay.
That's how I got through
I could
it.
do that.
Yeah, that's how I got through it.
I'm going to go get fired real quick.
Keep wearing those glasses, you will.
Yeah.
Well, I definitely recommend you get the Charles Soule Vader one is wrapping up this month, December 19th. I think issue 25 comes out. Once all the trades come out or whatever, go through it. It is pretty spectacular. I finally caught up to it. And I always say each week, like, I'm behind on the comics. Finally caught up to Vader 24, and I love the series so far. I'm not taking to the last couple issues as others are, but that's personal taste.
Yeah.
They're really intriguing. They're really big in scope.
Yeah, you've spoken highly of the run in general. So maybe some the trade collections, the graphic novels. I am making a Christmas list soon, so if you're watching, Mom, that's what I want.
All right.
She's not watching, by the way.
Never bought you a
Tweet
gift.
his mom.
Tweet his mom.
Can you imagine my mother on a Twitter? Oh, my God. On a Twitter? Sure.
Final note here, then we'll take some fan questions here. Star Wars Galaxies of Adventures kind of sprung up, was dropped this week, and I really love this series. I don't know if you guys had a chance to catch it, but it is on Star Wars Kids, and it is specifically designed for parents to sit down with their young kids and introduce Star Wars with them. It's really great.
I like this art style.
A lot of people were really upset, and I said on Force Center this week, that's like going to a playground, getting stuck on a slide, and complaining it's not for you. Like,
I mean,
Episode 1 of Parks and Rec. That is you.
Yeah.
Yes. Like, if you're not interested in this, that is one thing. But this was like Disney saying, Lucasfilm going, hey, we're targeting young kids, 3, 4, 5, to try to get them into Star Wars, maybe up to 6 or 7. And here's a new Star Wars Kids, and people are like, Disney, they're not listening to us. What are you talking
Shut
about?
up, then.
It was.
Shut
It's
up.
a really fun series.
Oh.
I actually, so they have these shorts. I didn't get the answer. Have you guys had a chance to see them?
I've
yet?
seen a lot of them, not
Okay.
all of them.
I think I've seen all of them. I love them.
They're really fun.
They're really fun. I'm sitting there going back. I mean, they're lifting the dialogue directly from the movies.
Right.
I mean, you're hearing Alec Guinness. You're hearing Harrison Ford. They're cutting it up and putting a little spin on it, and then I love the animation. Star Wars. If people are upset by this, just don't watch it. I mean, I think you got to look at the fact that we're creating new Star Wars fans here, and then everybody can start playing and/or grow up and start angrily tweeting at me. What have you. I just love this. Look at it. It's
real
gorgeous.
Fun. And what I liked even more than just the regular shorts was the fun facts.
Wow.
The fun facts.
Han looks so handsome in this.
Dashing. The fun facts were really interesting because it also hid information. Like, it doesn't tell you who Vader is. You know,
Right.
there's this, and then the starship one of, which starship would you like? And it's like, that's how you kind of, your love of Star Wars grows, because you love it, you find friends, and you're on the playground going, well, I love the Y-Wing, well, I like the X-Wing. That's part of the fun, and then you grow up and have a podcast, and it's great. So I really love what they're doing with this series, and anyways, it's just like commercial. Cody, you're young. Do you like them? He didn't see them. So
Yeah, I'm going to
Scathing.
tweet at him later.
so give them a chance, especially if you have children. Or if you're like me, you just sit on the couch with this Ewok. And
That's your son.
that's my son. Final note, we're going to take questions. I want to give a shout out to our friends at the Star Wars Show. The Star Wars Show. They did this Shockmaster Piece Theater, which was amazing. If you're a pro wrestling fan and a Star Wars fan, they combined the infamous 1993 Shockmaster incident with the best history of Star Wars cosplay. It's a great moment. Pablo Hidalgo does a Masterpiece Theater type of situation, and kudos to the team. I've always said, pro wrestling and Star Wars, more connected than you want to believe. Let's go to Twitter and Facebook questions here. I got this one from Ed Crandall. We were just talking about animation, Star Wars Kids, Star Wars Rebels, Star Wars Resistance is out. Ed writes, since the House of Mouse owns Lucasfilm, do you think there's any chance we'll ever see an animated Star Wars feature film again? So Clone Wars, of course, released in the theaters. That's because George was like, let's do it. I don't know if that was the best thing.
Yeah.
But with the streaming service, a lot of people are talking about this. We see this style. Kim turns around and is like, whoa, I love the look of this.
I'm attracted to this picture.
Like the picture of Han. It could work now more than ever, right, Mark?
I'll say this. I saw Into the Spider-Verse. Yep. Yeah.
Okay.
Kim,
Yep.
I saw you there. It's one of my favorite movies of the year, and it shows that a big studio like Sony can go in and create cutting-edge animation that is different, that I've never seen before. The comic came to life to focus on a new character in Miles Morales that not a lot of people know other than the comic. Introduce a ton of different Spider-Man and universes in dimensions. Have your Peter Parker in there as well. Look at that, because we were talking about this previously on a mailbag episode where could DC do this? Could some at Marvel do this? What have you? Like MCU, I'm saying. Look at the Spider-Verse, how well it works. I'm going to be interested to see how it does at the box office if word of mouth spreads enough that this thing gets huge. Sony's already looking at a number of the female Spider, like Spider-Gwen and some of the female characters spun off. Already a sequel that they're working on for Spider-Verse. Why can't we have it in Star Wars? We have the precedent set with the Clone Wars. Sure, it's not that great, but why not? We have the streaming service. We have many, many years of Star Wars. Disney bought this. Disney, come on. What do you think of first when you hear Disney? Animation. That's where they started. So why not? I would love to see it.
Kim, could Steamboat Willie be in Star Wars?
That's not the question I thought you were going to ask.
Okay, yeah. But you're excited. You're excited. You're over here pumping your fist. Tell us about it.
I saw Into the Spider-Verse. We were in the same row.
Yeah.
And I thought the animation served the story so well. I think in previews, people were a little worried, like, does this work as a cohesive piece? And it did. I don't know that Star Wars would use it in the exact same way.
Right,
But I think they could certainly employ it in that way. And, they're trying to make a huge return on their investment, which they've already seen. If you do this, I think people would go see it. Do you like money? I know you do.
I like money.
I like money. I think now more than ever to be open it. And even, if it's not so straight-laced, not the Star Wars always is, but, I look at the Freemaker Adventures, which is not really canon. It deals with canon stuff, but it's just its own little thing. And people love it because it's funny. It's like the Lego Star Wars games that have the cutscenes and stuff that are funny, but they're kind of their own thing.
Sure.
Something like that could work as well, now more than ever. And if it gets Kim and Mark excited, I'm all for it.
Yeah.
I'm all for it there.
Yeah.
A couple questions left here. This is a bonus one directed at me. This is from Lewis Cox at Lewis1022. Could there be a video game about pod racing? Now, a couple weeks ago when Roka asked for questions, I responded, please, only questions about pod racers. And people took that very seriously, which I respect because I take pod racing very seriously. So the classic Nintendo 64 pod racing game is a favorite for a lot of people. Then they re-released a PlayStation version, I think Pod Racer Revenge or Racer Revenge,
Sure.
which had like a teenage Anakin returning to Tatooine to settle a score with Sebulba. Yes, that's the story I do want to see in canon. So Lewis, to your question, then I'll get my wonderful panel of pundits here wondering how crazy I am. I would love an updated, serious version of a pod racing game. Give me all the pod racers. I want Rats Tyrell, Ben Quadraneros, Team Toe, who has a drinking problem, as we learned in one of the earlier pod racing games. I want this, and I have a lot of fun. Mark, would you come to my house and play this game with me?
Of course. Are you kidding me? I had the PlayStation version that I played just over and over and over again. If they did an updated one, like I love Battlefront 2, I love playing in the Star Wars universe. If there's a racing angle to it, give me that. I'll play it. Always.
You could get, just like Gran Turismo, you could, buy parts and you can go trade Republic credits.
Yeah.
Wadu comes and steals stuff or something. It'd be great. Kim, you in? You in?
Yeah, bring back all those racist characters. Let's do it.
Yes!
I think it could work, and here's why.
Yeah.
So, in a modern take, I imagine the Star Tours, the one scene where they do pod racing, it does look pretty exciting. And I think, a lot of people take umbrage with the prequels. However, I think there's been a resurgence of love for the prequels in somewhat recent years.
Yeah.
This could work.
Yep. Good. You both are invited. You both are invited when this game
I'll bring some whiskey.
out. Final question today. This comes from Temezken. It has my name in it, so that's why I chose this question. But no, it kind of ties back to what we were talking about earlier with Rey and Rose, and I think we can continue into that. Any characters you hope to see cross paths in Episode 9 that haven't yet done so? I personally like to see Ben Solo Chewbacca interaction post Uncle Chewie blasting him in the gut for this end of the sequel trilogy. That's why I actually really like that idea, because Chewie's pretty upset, as he should be, but at one point you got to think little baby Ben was on Uncle Chewie's knee and they were talking about the world. It's sad and tragic. So we got Lando's coming back, Nine Num's still floating around. What kind of connections, not the big ones, the Rey and the Rose and all those kind of things, but little kind of fun things that you'd like to see? Maybe even bring some surprise characters in.
Yeah. Well, you kind of put it together right there. Nine Num and Lando. I want to see that reunion. Their time on the Millennium Falcon. Are we going to get that?
It's a great question of if Lando was to go back on the Falcon,
I want to see
who's his co-pilot?
Yes, I want to see at least that, like when Luke came on the Falcon in Last Jedi,
great.
I couldn't stop the chills.
Yeah.
I was like,
oh, you might have had the flu, but yes, also great moment.
Love this.
Great moment.
Yeah,
But yeah,
third chapter of a trilogy. Lando and Nine Num, that'd be great to see.
Lando rushes into the Falcon cockpit. He sits down, and then the chair's empty. And then all of a sudden, Nine Num and Chewie come in. They're like trying to get to the door at the same time. And then
Shotgun.
They both sit down. Shotgun, and Chewie sits down. And then Turbis the Porg hops off.
Yeah,
right.
Its name's Turbis?
Well, there is a podcast called Tatooine Sons. A father and his two young sons have this podcast, and I've met them before. It's come in Villainy. They're really nice folks. They were at I think the Collider Q&A with Rian Johnson, and they said it. They said, well, we've named him Turbis. And so Rian Johnson says, that's great. I want that to be canon. Pablo, if you're listening, make it canon. So it's not official, but
okay, I love that,
kind of like the idea of Turbis being his name.
That's
Anyways,
great.
Kim, Nine Num, Chewie, or any other weird connections?
I'm happy with anyone showing up and punching Kylo Ren in the gut.
There it is.
Love this.
I love that.
What if we had Wilro Hood running around in the background as an Easter egg?
I would love that.
Yeah?
If Lando's there and all of a sudden Wilro Hood's got an ice cream maker, which by the way, in that Chuck Wendig series,
Yeah.
Wilro Hood was going to be a point of view character in one of them. Because it was
We've
his
lost
point
so
of view.
much.
We've lost so much. All right, that is it. I've gone overtime today. Cody's not going to get to his lunch on time. I'd like to apologize to Cody Hull and Adam Smith, who were in the booth making me look beautiful. Thanks for letting me host today while Christian was out. Christian will be back next week. So before we get on out, we like to put ourselves over, and I want to thank both of you, Kim and Mark, for coming here today in the rain to brave the water from the sky. Mark, tell them where they can find all your wonderful adventures.
You can find me on Twitter, Instagram, at Reilly Around. The Reilly Roundtable drops today with the lovely Emma Fife joining me. Fife Club coming in hot. And, of course, Rule of Two that I do with Mark Fernandez every Wednesday.
All right, Kim Horcher, Kim Urso.
Kim Urso. It's sticking.
We rebel. I can be found. My name's different on every platform. Kim Scorcher on Twitter, Kim Horcher on Instagram. Don't bother with Facebook. I don't update.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm just going to be honest with you. I'm going to bring you the realness.
Yeah. Using Facebook like we did 5 years ago, if you use it now, it's like writing a check at a grocery store. Like, that's what you are.
You can.
You can. It
I
works.
won't update very often.
Yes. I'll
take the like.
Yeah. Yeah, give me the like. I'll post a podcast, but you're not getting the much from me. But Kim, thank you as always for coming in. Love having you around here. It's been a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Hearing your insights here in Star Wars, Mark, as always. You can check me out at Ken Napzok. That includes my motivations with Ken. Casterly Talk starting to come back. Look for that. So I'm talking Game of Thrones with Lon Harris. And a final thank to Kuya and the team at Tree of Endor. I'd lift this, but it's heavy. The life-size Ewoks. Go to their Etsy shop on Etsy, Tree of Endor, and get yourself a life-size Ewok. I got Wicket. That is it. We'll see you. May the Force be with you. Always.
Hey everybody, Mark Ellis here. Thanks for watching this episode. You want to watch more? Then click up here. Or you can click right here for more great content from Collider. If you haven't subscribed to Collider Video, do so right now and share this vid with your friends. Thanks for watching.